Hello everyone and welcome to another Custom Figure Showcase spin-off. This is Custom Figure Showcase. I'll explain later because this is going to be a custom series of customs from the comic relief Curse of Fatal Death short. In this we are going to have one each of the Doctors. We have the Master, we have the Companion Emma, and we have one each of the Daleks. And I'm going to start off with the 9th Doctor, played by Rowan Atkinson. Now, some of you may remember I did this custom figure quite a long time ago, and I used bits and pieces. I don't know if I've got a picture of it. I'm going to try and find one, but I'll describe it anyway, just for the sake of it. It was a 6th Doctor figure with a 1st Doctor coat and a 1st Doctor head in which I'd sculpted on the sort of more flowing hair. And although it was one again that I was pleased with at the time, looking back on it, it did have a lot of issues. The parts didn't fit particularly well, my paintwork needed a lot of going over. The paint on the waistcoat as well was very bright, and obviously because it was a 6th Doctor figure, a lot of the joints in places sort of weren't painted very well. And then I came across this head sculpt, which I'm going to do a bit of a close-up on the head sculpt and the waistcoat in a minute. And I found this head sculpt. This was sold by NDW Designs. It was designed by James the Modeler, I believe he goes by on Facebook, of Rowan Atkinson's 9th Doctor. Really, really looked the part, and it was always, again, once I'd gotten that head, I thought, well, I'd like to update the body at some point as well in future. So I put the head on the body that I had initially, but then when I sort of started to put the idea together and sort of put together a few more other figures from this series, I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to go and completely revamp the body for this, because it will also be useful in designing the other bodies for the other Doctors as well. So I'm going to just pause here and just do a quick close-up so I can take you over exactly some of the details on this that I've put into this figure. So the reason I wanted to do a little bit of a close-up on the head and the waistcoat is partly to show up the amazing head sculpt. It's absolutely fantastically well designed. But also on the waistcoat, compared to my original one, the colours are much darker and there's a lot more detail in it as well. So to overall break down this figure, the legs are from the 1st Doctor still, but the arms, coat and torso are from an 8th Doctor. The waistcoat is from a 6th Doctor, and obviously the head is a custom sculpt. And what I've also done is re-sculpted the waistcoat slightly to put the tie on there. Now, the waistcoat pattern really does not match what we see on screen, because once I started to look at it, it was a very difficult thing to really replicate, and it's certainly beyond my skills, especially with all the little mini patterns. So I sort of took the block colours and patchwork idea and created what I feel is a close facsimile of it. Which I do think works very well, and it has come together. But the reason that I've got a sort of mix match of parts on this, because I know it might seem odd that I've taken what is essentially overall an 8th Doctor and then stuck the 1st Doctor's legs on this, is because I wanted each of the Doctors to have a slight height difference. And as we get to the end of this series, I'm going to get all the Doctors in a lineup, and you can see what I mean. But the reason that I went for the 1st Doctor is because I sort of tried to make him a little bit shorter than the 10th Doctor, who's coming next, obviously. But, you know, again, I wanted to sort of mix and match it a little bit and put it together to see how it would come out. But the final finished figure here is a much, much closer look to what I originally envisioned with this figure. And I have to say, the head sculpt really does make it absolutely stand out just so much better than my original one did. But that brings to a close the first in Custom Figure Showcase I'll explain later. Please keep checking in. I have sort of recorded these all in one go, so they will be coming out hopefully fairly regularly. But in the meantime, I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Like, favourite, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot. And be sure to check out the description below for a link to my Patreon. I've had a bit of a reshuffle with things, so there is only the one tier on there at the moment, but it is the smallest donation, and for said smallest donation, you can get your name at the end of my videos. All of your donations are greatly received, and they do help the continued running of the channel. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.